Hello, influencers, and welcome to another episode of Chats with Champions. Today, I am joined by Dr. Zarin Gillani. Tell us about your background in terms of your education and your path and what you're doing now.
So basically, I am a clinical psychologist by profession initially, which I have, that was my occupation for a long time.
Wow. Yeah.
And I worked constantly with people who were always in the dark. They were always, they were just
in a negative space,
stuck in a place, and they would just not move forward. 7 years ago, I went through my own path of, discovery and frustration, through frustration.
Yes.
And decided that there has to be more to give to these clients, and because they have potentials.
Yes.
And I really wanted to lift them, but when any individual, when they are in the dark and they are not just stuck and they are not able to see outside the box or outside that little window, they cannot see their own potentials. It's difficult to see yourself in the picture when you are within the frame. So 5 years ago I was certified as a life purpose coach, and what I do in my practice is that I do, because of my background, I do bring a little bit of counseling into my coaching. So I will take my client, just for maybe 5 minutes, back into the past and pull them back into the current, and I refer to that as laser coaching. I lace them out and back in again. So it's like, just so that they can shake off that thing that is still holding them back. And shake it off and then move them forward.
Wow. Okay, and I mean, you've come from a place of, first of all, I mean, a lot of education went into it, a lot of practice, a lot of years into this area, a lot of hard work. And you moved transitioned into an area that you are much more passionate about, where it's a lot more positive for you.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I suppose that a number of people that are potentially watching this video, they are in places that they are either invested a lot of money or time or effort being in a place that they may not particularly love, and would like to move to a position where they're doing what they love. What tips would you give to someone in that situation?
The very first thing is awareness.
Yes.
As long as an individual is not aware that they need that sort of support, they cannot even move forward. They cannot think of even calling me or addressing or even coming to somebody like me.
Yes.
So that's the first thing. The other thing is that then the individual wants to ask themselves that, is this position that I'm in, is this happiness for me? Am I happy, truly happy? Does it make me feel like jumping out of bed in the morning and say, yay, I'm so glad I'm alive, this is the day I'm going to go conquer the world, Does that happen? And if something is holding you back, if you're full of woe and you're coming from a place of being a victim, then it's time to really shake yourself and find some support, find some help. And I have to add here that the changes I have seen in my clients, they are incredible.
And that's what drives you?
Absolutely.
I can see it in your eyes. You lift up, and that's amazing.
And it's simultaneously, just as it's so enlightening to me to see them. At the same time, it's extremely humbling.
Yes.
It's very humbling to see that I was able to touch that soul. I was able to touch that spirit, because we are all spiritual beings having human experiences. And as a spirit first, every spirit deserves to have that authentic happiness So we live in an instant gratification world.
Yes.
So everyone wants everything instantly, right?
Yes.
They want money right away. They want a big house right away. They want a big car right away. They want, happiness right away.
Yes.
What they don't understand is that these are all things that are concentrating which are outside of them. So we are external oriented. Whereas true contentment is from within.
Yes.
And then there's the question of self-worth and self-esteem.
Yeah.
When an individual does not see himself or herself with that level of self-esteem or self-worth,
Yes.
then their behavior is different, the language is different, the body language is different, and they constantly are trying to compete.
Yes.
Rather than appear just the way they are.
Yeah.
They are not happy for people to see their true authentic self. They want to camouflage.
Yeah.
And that's a very difficult life to live. You're constantly, it's a burden. You're carrying it on your shoulder,
Yeah.
And how long does one want to carry that?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you look at children, they don't care what people think about them. They do not worry about it at all, they can be running in their little panty,
Yes.
ocean to swim, and all of a sudden the panty will come down and they won't care.
Yes.
They're still putting it up and running into the ocean. It's incredible.
We can learn a lot from kids.
Absolutely.
We can
absolutely.
learn a lot
They
from
are
kids.
the best teachers we have,
Yes.
but we don't.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
the sad part.
Yes.
And that's where I come in.
Yeah.
I help people become aware of
That's
that
awesome.
kind of,
That's awesome.
naturalness and just being who you are and love yourself.
That's
Just
amazing.
love yourself. You cannot love yourself.
Yeah.
How can you love someone else genuinely?
And I also wanted to say, I first of all, just with having this conversation alone tells me that you have a very, very big heart, right? Like you want to help a lot of people. But I also just recently heard, so you have five children that you...
Biological 5 children. We lost one a girl at a very early age when she was
Okay.
only 5 in a car accident.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got 4 biological children.
Yes.
And we've
And
adopted
then
11.
And you've adopted
Yes.
11 children.
Yes.
I mean...
And my husband, I have
this-
9 grandchildren.
You see, this is one of the main reasons I wanted you on this as well, because you have such a tremendous heart that
I don't know about that.
am-
Research says your heart is as big as your fist.
Hilarious. Yes, well, you've packed a lot into that fist.
Apparently so.
I mean, some fists pack a lot more punch.
But
and
I
your
have to say
heart
this.
is beautiful.
Not to interrupt, but
Yes.
I have to say this though. Nothing I could do, I would not succeed. I would not be where I am here today.
Yes.
With me being even in Oman on my own, I would not be able to do that without the support of my husband. He is an amazing human being, an incredible human being. He comes from a background where his parents lived in India for a long time, even though they migrated from Iran.
Wow.
And then they migrated to East Africa. So my husband is born in Tanzania, East Africa, and
Okay.
I'm born in Congo, Central Africa.
Oh, wow.
But he, for him and for that background and that culture,
Yes.
he is such a different person the way he thinks.
Yes.
When I was doing my second PhD in educational psychology, I cried, and I kept telling him, I said, I cannot do this, I cannot do this. He said, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Instead of taking me 5 years, it took me 7 years. Extended 2 years, and I struggled, but he was there every step of the way. And my children were my biggest, they were rooting for me all the time. I mean, they were my biggest cheerleaders.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But I would
And
not
you
be here
deserve to
without
have
them.
a lot more cheerleaders. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much for saying that. You're very, very kind.
well, thank you for being on the show today.
My pleasure.
If people would like more information, where can they go?
They can always go on my website. It's
Yeah.
Dr. Zarin at drzarin.com. DRZARIN at Dr. Zarin again. DRZARIN.com.
Okay.
Or they can call me. My phone number is, of course, you have to have number 1,
Yeah,
for
plus,
the country.
+1.
And then 512-825-0864, and also my email, Dr. Zarin, drzarin@drzarin.com.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much for
Thank
being
you
on.
so much.
And
Thank you.
Great. All right.